This video is covering numbers 5 and 6 on the quadratics test review. So number 5, we're wanting to write the equation of each parabola described. We've done this over and over again. However, we've done this from a graph. I've given you the graph, you find the points, and then you write the equation. This time, instead of giving you the graph, I've given you the information from the graph. So you still do it the same way. You have to figure out what form you're going to use and then solve for your A value. So looking at the first part, A, you are given the vertex. So obviously if you're given the vertex, we're going to use vertex form. So remember vertex form involves the HK. So I know that that -3 is my H and the 2 is the K. And remember, when we want to write an equation, we have to find out what the A value is. And in order to do that, we have to use another point for X and Y. So they give me that other point. So we're going to use 1 as X and -4 as Y. So I'm going to start off with the vertex form. So that's Y equals A times X minus H squared plus K. Now I'm going to replace everything. So again, we've done this a lot. So now I'm just going to replace everything that I've labeled. So my Y was -4 equals A I don't have, X is 1 minus H. H is -3, so when I subtract that -3, you're actually going to change that sign to a positive, then squared, then plus my K, which is 2. Now simplify and solve. So we have -4 equals A times 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 squared is 16, then plus 2. Do not make the mistake of adding that 16 plus 2. That is not PEMDAS, okay? You're multiplying that A times 16, then adding 2. So if you write it like that, that might help you. So then to solve, you would subtract 2 on both sides, giving you -6. I'm going to rewrite it over here. Equals 16A, then divide by 16 and you get -6 over 16, which then make sure you reduces to 3 over 8. So that's my A value. So then you plug back in your A, H, and K into your equation. So your final equation is Y equals -3/8 times X minus your H, which was -3, so that's plus 3 squared plus 2. So that is the equation for part A. Sorry I didn't give a lot of room. Hopefully you were able to squeeze that in. Okay? So now for B. For B, they give me the x-intercepts, so we're going to use the factored form for that. So when I am given the x-intercepts, those are my roots, so that's R1 and R2. And again, they give me another point, so we have our x and our y. So factored form, remember, looks like this. Y equals A times x minus R1 times x minus R2. So same thing, we're just going to plug in everything that we know. Y is 3 equals A times x is 1 minus root 1 is -4, so that would be plus 4. Then x again is 1 minus root 2 is 0. Simplify and solve. So 3 equals A times 5 times 1. So 3 equals 5A. Divide by 5, so A equals 3/5. Then to write the final equation, we write Y equals A 3/5, X minus root 1, which was -4, so that would become +4, and X minus 0. Now, again, you will not see the final answer written like that. You would actually see this X minus 0 here as just a single X written first, then X plus 4. That's the better way to write your final answer. Okay, so one more, part C. Part C, notice again that I'm given the vertex, so we're going to use vertex form. So vertex form gives me H and K, and then the y-intercept they give me, which again is just a point. And so all I need is any point as long as it's not the same point as what I've already used here, the vertex. So we're just going to do the same thing that we did with part A. The vertex form is Y equals A times X minus H squared plus K. Plug in what you know. So that's 9 equals a times x is 0 minus 3 squared plus 5. Then we get a times negative 3 squared becomes a positive 9. Again, please do not add 9 and 5 here. Think of this as 9a plus 5. So subtract 5 first, and we get 4 equals 9a, so therefore a equals 4 ninths. So then my equation would be 4 ninths times x minus 3 squared plus 5. Okay, now I'm also going to include on this video number 6 because it's very, very easy. The number 6 is just asking if the graph of the parabolas below open up or open down. All this has to do with is the very first value of a. If a is positive, I'm going to write this down at the bottom. If a is positive, then the graph will be opening up. Okay, so upward. And then if a is negative, then the graph will be opening downward. So that's very easy. A is just the first number that you see in your equation. So for part A is negative 3. So then, so A equals negative 3, which is negative, so that would be opening down. Part B, A is 1/2, so that's positive, so that's going to be opening up. In part C, A is negative, and it's actually -1, and that's going to be opening down. Very easy. Again, no one should miss those. All right, so that's the third part of the review. The next part will cover numbers 7 and 8.